that we're all the same. It means that we show up for each other. It means that we stand together in the face of fascism and injustice. And so that we know that the fight for research funding is connected to the fight for DEI and cultural centers on our campus, is connected to the fight for public education, to the right to learn. Come on, call them response. To affirming and creating opportunities for Black, Indigenous, people of color, brown, Asian American, Arab American students, faculty, staff, people. Yes. That is connected to the fight for free college. Yes. That is connected to the fight for fully funded K-12 education. Yes. And that's what we stand for here today. Yes. So it is my immense pleasure at this point to bring up two of my amazing colleagues and friends, Dr. Terrell Morton and Dr. Mildred Boveda.
Good morning, beautiful people. We feeling all right? We feeling good? We feeling joyful? I love that. I love that. As a critical race theorist who researches identity and justice for Black people within the context of STEM education, in this moment, I live under the constant threat of how will they come for me next. Being named in government reports, berated and threatened on social media, and even having people write to my colleagues in administration demanding that I be fired because of my research, and now defunding my work and Black intellectual thoughts and engagement, as apparently studying Black students' access and engagement in STEM, quote, does not align with NSF's current priorities. All of these experiences culminate to heightened concerns for social, emotional, psychological, and physical safety. Not just for me, but for those indirectly targeted and impacted by the hate and the vitriol directed towards me because of their connections to me, such as my loved ones, collaborators, and students. And while the fear and anxiety my loved ones and I experience are real in this moment, and are strong forces that attempt to drive our decisions and actions, walking by faith and living out my purpose, my passions and commitments to racial justice, my love for and joy in being Black, and my dream of having these lands that we currently call the United States and all lands globally, these spaces where Black people can just be in ways where they get to be their full, beautifully brilliant and unapologetically complex selves within and outside of STEM spaces are even stronger forces. And so I stand on this platform today with a radical hope and a Black unspeakable joy, committed to standing tall and firm, walking this road that God has put before me as a scholar activist who will remain unapologetic in his work and advocacy for justice and joy for Black people in and through STEM education. These spirit-murdering, illegal, unethical, immoral, and unjust attacks on knowledge and people's rights must be stopped at all levels by those of us who are willing to make bold and courageous decisions. And while my cause for resisting tyranny and oppression may differ from yours, I encourage us all to stand in solidarity as conspirators and co-conspirators in this fight for freedom, a critical democracy, and a reparative justice. For as Dr. King once said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And we cannot afford to allow any more precedent-setting actions to occur, nor can we afford to remain silent and inactive. And so when faced with the decision of whether or not you are going to be complicit with oppression by either willingly complying or doing nothing because you are afraid of retaliation, remember that it was the bold, courageous, and informed actions of our ancestors that provided us the freedoms that we have here today. And remember that in standing on their shoulders, it is our responsibility to ensure that future generations will not only be able to have rights, but that they will be able to have access to their histories and stories, have social institutions that value, embolden, and advance their needs, desires, stories, and freedom dreams, and that future generations will have a government that protects, serves, and invests in all of its people and not just its wealthy. And so let us stand on their foundation, planted in principles of justice, liberation, and joy as we fight. Because this joy that I have comes from a foundation of faith. It was fortified by my ancestors' fight against injustice. It was unified through my interactions with my family, friends, and friends' family who know what it means to have their boots on the ground with the fans in the air, while also having their boots hit the pavement, doing the work to advance justice with a smile on their face, a freedom song in their heart, and a fire shut up in their bones that cannot be put out.
Good morning. I can hear you, and it sounds beautiful. It is touching my soul. Cece earlier said that the Good morning, beautiful people. Can you hear me? Woo! I can hear you, and it sounds beautiful. It is touching my soul. Cece earlier said that the opposite of poverty is not wealth. It is what? Justice. What do we want? Justice. All right. So I'm going to bring my parents who are no longer with me, but they are always with me. My father recently passed away. My mother passed away recently. Mommy always asks, why aren't the people out in the streets? Do we have an answer for my mom? Are we out in the streets? Woo! It's beautiful to see all of you. Thank you so much. And stay engaged. All right, well then, the speech. Hi, I'm Dr. Mildred Boveda, a researcher and professor currently based in Pennsylvania. I stand before you today as someone whose parents grew up in a time and place where they could not access public education. I, in turn, have spent years studying and educating people about special education, teacher education, and educational policies. We're not just here with opinions, we're here with evidence. Researchers have shown time and again that early intervention, smaller class sizes, and access to trained special educators make a critical difference in student outcomes. But this administration's education budget cuts ignored that research. Gutting federal support, undermining the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, and forcing schools to do more with less. Reports from the National Center for Education Statistics and the Government Accountability Offices are clear. Underfunding special education widens racial disparities, increases dropout rates, and deepens the school-prison nexus, where punishment replaces care and students are pushed out instead of pulled in and loved. This isn't just bad policy, it's authoritative. I can't say the word. What's that ugly word? I can't even say it because I'm so averse to authoritarianism. Oh, it makes me sick. And it's whack ideology. That fears equity. It fears justice, differences, and it fears truth. So I say, we must walk in our commitments, not in our anxieties. We must fight for policies grounded in research that includes us, by us, with us, okay? And not repression. All right, so contact your congressional representatives. There's QR codes, I'm gonna put it up, and have a wonderful, wonderful